A big ravage. Prepare for battle. Operation Warfare. Eject. Eject. Eject.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's going down?
Focus. I am your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, doing your introductions this week, and we are coming to you live from the Azabache Mexican Restaurant in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, 4200 Southeast Street in Indianapolis. Come on down; it's a beautiful location, and thank you to our sponsors. Now, to begin our introductions today, we are going to first introduce to you the man coming to us from Chicago, Illinois. He is a silent but deadly competitor. He is an encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge and a damn handsome man. Marvelous Mark Buckley. How you doing, sir?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Doing beautiful. It's good to be here, and it's good to see your face. What's that?
I wish I was down there with y'all.
We missed you here too.
Yeah, I know. It's a party down here. Also, to my immediate left here, he is the president and founder of Motown Wrestling Group on Facebook, and he is holding the hardware right there. A beautiful version of the FTW Championship, and also a very handsome man in his own right. Say hello to Tony Motown Allen. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up, guys? A big shout out to Zohair Ahmed. He has his own group that he's part of my group as well, and we're in his group. But he gets the Beltman group. He makes belts, and he does this bad boy for me though. So appreciate you, and so happy to be here. The FTW champion is here.
That is 2 sponsors down, maybe more to go. And behind me, the man who is so large and in charge that he needs to change his name every week. The man, Chris Wood. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic. How's everybody?
Beautiful. And last but definitely not least, the founder of our feast, the president of FTW, and the man who loves AEW so much that he's wearing their merch right on our podcast. He is the man, my partner, the Mastermind, Bobby Rogers. How you doing, sir?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Beautiful. Now, we are going to start our show with the Mastermind grinding his gears. And if you care to, sir, you can take it away whenever you feel ready.
Look forward to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I want to say thank you for tuning in, first of all, to the FTW Future Focus. It's a pleasure to have all of you guys here. We do appreciate everybody that tunes in, that channels in whenever they don't have a chance to look at it live. You tune into YouTube, things of that nature. So I appreciate all of you guys. All of you guys are a blessing. Thank you. Thank you to Azabache Restaurant for having us over there. I'm sorry I couldn't be there because my car wanted to act stupid. Whoever tries to say Chevy is better than Ford, they need to be smacked. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Now, to the grinding my gears section. This is going back to last week. Last week, if you did tune into the FTW Future Focus, and I advise you guys to go ahead and check that out, we were talking about a problem where there was a Facebook page that wanted to take up for Sasha and Naomi doing that diabolical BS because by having men, that's it. It was all guys. They had to stand a football field away from them to take a picture. And they were calling people that was criticizing that haters, not respecting black women, all types of stuff. I said what I said yesterday, and I called out a couple of people on that page. One, Miss Crystal Honeycutt. You don't get no passes here because, like I said, you ain't got no honey in you. You got vinegar. Get over yourself. The next one I didn't even answer. I didn't even say his name, but I can't even remember his name because he's so insignificant right now. But this gentleman is the president of this page. And I guess he thought he was slick because he sat up there and he joined me, he friended me and everything just to see what I would say. He wasn't man enough to sit up there and come at me one-on-one. He wasn't man enough to sit up there and make his concerns known. He even said, and I have it in the listing, so if any of you want me to go ahead and pull this out in the show, he said, well, you can say what you want to on your show. That won't affect anything here. Okay, whatever. But do you think it's right if you sit up there and talk about one of our administrators? Why? Because they're supposed to be black, right? Well, if you don't notice, I'm black too. I mean, I didn't just lay out in the sun and get this tan for no reason, okay? This didn't come from me putting no little lotion on and I'm laying out in the sun saying, give me a mimosa. This is me. I am a black man. I'm proud to be a black man. I'm proud to have 2 black daughters. I'm proud to have a black son. I am proud to have a half white and black daughter. Hi, Kiara. Love you. And I'm proud to have a half white and black son. Jordan, what's up? Wherever you are. This is what pisses me off. And this is what really grinds my gears. You say you about, and you put a page up. And it's supposed to be to where you're all about the African American wrestlers. And it sounds good. It sounds real good. But see, the thing that people don't understand, and that's the problem and why we have so much problems today in society, not only when it comes to you being an ignorant asshole on this Facebook page, but it comes to everything that comes in society when it comes to voting and things of that nature. It seems like that some of us, not all of us, want a double standard. You don't like it when it's done to you, but you want to turn around and do it to somebody else. Now, I'm sorry. I don't care if Sasha Banks is a black woman, a Chinese checker, a Portuguese pothole. I don't care what she is. If she's wrong, she's wrong. What she did was wrong. What you're doing is wrong. Because what you thought was, oh, let me listen to what he has to say, because maybe he won't say anything, and then was a coward and took me off the page behind my back. That's what we call in my old hood a bitch move. And you know what? Who does bitch moves? Bitches. So Jabari or whatever the hell your name is, use a bitch. Miss Honeycutt, guess what? Oh, Miss Vinegar Cut. That's what we should call you, Miss Vinegar Cut. I'm sorry. We'll call you Miss Hines because you ain't nothing but Hines Vinegar. You have the audacity to sit up there and think because you are a black woman and you're supposed to get a pass in this world and you don't get a pass whatsoever. You have to struggle just like we black men have to out here. The cops don't look at you the same, different. Nobody looks at you different. You are black just like everybody else here, except for the exception of Rob. But he got some soul in him. So, we can't knock Rob. He got some soul in him. But the thing that makes me mad though is that you want that privilege for yourself and you take it on a man because Jabari ain't a man, he's a bitch. But you're gonna take it out of a man saying the right things. I never said nobody was superior. I never said anything. I said it was wrong. And everybody that spends money in our market today as Americans should be treated equally, no matter if you're black, white, Chinese, Portuguese, alien from Mars. I don't give a damn where you're from. If you got the money and you spended it, you should be treated equally. Period. Don't see nothing wrong with that. But you do. Because you want to use the excuse that she's a black woman trying to get money and blah, blah, blah. So I guess you think Cardi B and all these people are right when they drug guys and they steal money from their wallets and they rap about it on records. That's okay with you, right? See, the thing about it is you don't understand. I've had this discussion with a lot of people that I know. I've lost some friends because of it. Is I don't give nobody any type of slack. Nobody. My daughters even tell you. I'm straight up 100% equal. Now, I don't know. I never discussed this with my co-hosts about saying this because guess what? Number one, no offense to anybody that's on my team, but I don't give a shit. Because when it comes to something that's right, I'm going to stand up and say it, no matter who the fuck it is. We should not get any more privileges than anybody else. We should work on an equal plane. If you're doing wrong, number one, especially if you want to talk about, oh, she's black. Well, guess what? You'll do a black dude's wrong just as well as you are the white ones. So I guess you were treating equal then, but you wasn't treating equal on the whole surface. So I took it, my boy Tony right there told me something that got me kind of interested, got me thinking this week. He came up to my job. We talked about it and everything, and he said something. And I got to give you some credit, Tony. I thought about it because at first I was like, fuck that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, but that makes a lot of sense. Jabari, Miss Hines, Honeycutter, whatever you want to call yourself. I invite you to come on the show. I invite you to sit up here and to plead yourself in for. I'm sorry. Let me say it in your words, okay? Our 20 fans or our 2 fans. That's funny. But since you are so right and you're so righteous, come on our show. Let's have a discussion. Let's schedule it. Let's publicize it so everybody can get on here and see how fucking dumb you are. Because the one thing I hate the most is a hypocrite. And that's exactly what you are. Is a damn hypocrite. So, do you have the balls? I'm sure Miss Honeycutt does. She's definitely got some balls. But Jabari, do you got the balls to come on? One-on-one? You ain't got to worry about them. This is who you're going to be dealing with is me. Say your side, say my side. We have the live chat going so everybody can tell you live in real time how much of an idiot you are. Come on with it. Do it. Come on the show. Say your piece. I dare you. Because guess what? The one thing that I did learn, and the one thing that I also preach to our younger generation is, we all have to listen to our elders. We all have to listen to our fathers because they are our fathers. Our fathers know what goes on when it comes to this things in life. My dad has been a rock solid bottom person and told me a lot of stuff in my life. That some of it I thought that was crap, and some of it, I took to heart and I went and ran with it. So right now, since I'm the one giving the advice, I'm your daddy. And you know what you can do right now. Acknowledge your daddy.
Wow.
Anybody got anything they want to say about that?
But first of all, before we go, Marcus, you got anything to say, Marcus?
No, go ahead, man. I'm just playing.
I mean, I didn't get it. Obviously, I wasn't here last week, so I didn't get a chance to talk about the thing with Sasha Banks. But my very first thought was, first of all, I ain't no one in hell. I'm paying $130 to take pictures with anybody, first and foremost, and not with their clothes on anyway. First and foremost. All right. Second, and everybody knows how I love Naomi, but I ain't paying no $130 just to take no picture. And the picture I saw, it looked like it was Sasha Banks taking a picture, and that dude snuck in on it at the last minute. Now that's what it looked like to me. Okay,
that's what Tony said.
Right, and I mean, I used to tell women this all the time. Don't make me pay for what some other man did to you. Okay, it's like if another dude, multiple dudes touched her, did anything to her, then just don't take pictures. Period. But to sit up here and say, as a man, I gotta stand 10 feet away from your ass. Oh, absolutely not. And I think I know the group you're talking about. I think I'm in that group, and they're out of their damn mind to sit up here and say that it's okay for them to have men period stand that far away for $130 picture. $130, and I can't be right. Look, for $130, you should be doing anything I want you to do on that picture. Any pose I want you to make. Okay, for $130, I can't even for one picture. I'm still can't get that out of my head. $130. Naomi, what for $130?
You know when you said that, you know what you reminded me of?
What's that?
Coming to America. Bark like a dog.
for $130 for a picture, and I can't stand next to him.
Gentlemen,
I can't understand how anybody think that's okay.
That group, that girl, Crystal Honeycutt, went off on me. Like I said, that she needs to get naked in front of me and do the hula hoop.
I mean,
I don't want that nightmare in the first place. Second of all, it shows you the mentality. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes me even more mad. If you are supposed to be about, giving exposure to the black wrestlers, take it up for the black wrestlers and stuff, you also have to say what they're doing wrong so we don't repeat the mistake again.
Yes, absolutely. And I love Naomi and Sasha, but that was wrong. I mean, that's just no. First of all, you're wrong for charging $130. I can't get off that alone. $130 fucking dollars for a picture. I can't. I for one picture, I can't. I can't.
Chris, Tony, who wants to tackle this one? All right.
I get a medium ultimate margarita.
But they make enough money, they're big enough stars that they have security, right?
Please come on the show. I would love to hear. I would love to hear your stance on this. So please come on the show. I beg of you, please come on the show.
Go ahead, Chris.
I just think with being stars like that, I can see them having security there, feeling safe. And on top of that, for $130, we're gonna take a picture like we go together. I'm putting at least can I do that? So when I show it off and look, I took a picture with Sasha Banks. I want people to think we know each other. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's just don't take pictures then. That's my only argument. Don't take pictures then. They don't need the money.
Okay. Let's take the racial perspective out of this because that was the angle that the Facebook group was going for. Okay, let's take that out. Sasha Banks is a legitimate celebrity. And as such, if she wants to take pictures, she needs to go all the way through with it and interact with her fans. That doesn't mean that she needs to be groped. That doesn't mean that she needs to not have security there, as Chris was just pointing out.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that she's putting herself out there and she's being paid an exorbitant amount of money to be at these conventions. And if she doesn't want to take pictures with the fans, that's her prerogative. But if she says she's going to take pictures with the fans, then she needs to take pictures with the fans, not 100 yards away, not like a Photoshop job where it looks like she's next to the fans, but taking a picture with the fans. She is being ridiculous to the point of diva-ship in order to like inconvenience the people she's there with, and that's entirely wrong. And I don't know Miss Honeycutt. I don't know her website, but I do know that the defending her for being that much of a diva is absolutely ludicrous. She was being unreasonable. She could have had security there, and that's just the bottom line because Robert Black says so. And I'll give it to Tony.
You talk about these stuff. All right. Here's my thing. You worried about what guy's gonna do to you for $130. You realize I can go to a strip club and get a hell of a lot more for a hell of a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Sasha Banks, you are fucking delusional. And anybody that's on your side is fucking delusional. Miss Honeycutt, please show that you got the balls, the grapefruits like Vince McMahon. Let's see those grapefruits. Come on the show. We'll be nice. I promise. I'll be good. Promise be good. This
we're
ain't.
gentlemen.
Yeah, we're gentlemen. We're gonna treat you good. We're gonna roll out the red carpet for you. Just come onto the show, share your opinions. Let's have an honest, like, friendly debate. But Sasha Banks, your ass is crazy.
And let me say this. If you remember what I said last week, she made $30,000 from that appearance. You mean to tell me she could not pay a security guard $1,000 to sit in her specific booth that whole day to make sure nobody does something wrong? That's ridiculous. And for somebody to read that, because I said the same exact thing in that Facebook group, to sit up there and say, well, you're not respecting her boundaries. Hold on. Wait. And I hate saying it like this because this makes me sound like a jerk, but it's the truth. When you're in business, there is no boundaries. When you're hired by a certain person, there is no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can't do a whole bunch of crazy stuff, don't get me wrong, but it has to be within reason. And standing next to a person taking a picture is in reason because that's what they call a fan photo.
Uh-huh.
So I just asked you come on the show. I'm hoping you come on the show because I'm sorry you have no win in this situation, but I'm gonna give you an opportunity to see it and bring your friends along that want to try to hold your panties up and keep the vinegar in the bottle. Go ahead and have that come through, and we can go ahead and embarrass them too. I don't care. I have no problem with debating you on the subject because you make no sense whatsoever. And to use the black woman as an excuse to do bad, it's just like me saying I'm a black male. I should be able to bang any female I want to, have babies, and don't take care of them. Same damn thing. It's wrong. Get over yourself, chick. Like I said, daddy always gives advice. I'm giving advice. So that means I'm your daddy. You know what to do. I already said it once. You know what to do. All right. So we go on to the next happier subject. Kind of.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes.
Right on time.
This week, there was a report by a dude named Louis Landor. He was on Twitter. I don't know what props he got in the wrestling community because I ain't never heard of this dude. But obviously, he got some inside things the way he can interview people from AEW, stuff like that. He was talking about Hangman versus CM Punk and all the stuff that went on. Now, let's kick it off and tell exactly what happened. Hangman did an interview with somebody saying that he doesn't listen to the vets in the back. That's what the whole promo with Punk when he came out was. Because he said, I don't listen to the vets in the back. Blah, blah, blah. I wish I got a record of that, but stuff happened. So we're going to leave it alone. But he said he doesn't listen to the vets in the back. CM Punk literally just basically let it loose. He let it loose. I'm gonna say that. You know, and he said it on there. The disrespect is blah blah blah. And honestly, he's right. But this gentleman is trying to sit up and say that he's being selfish. He's not putting over the younger talent. He's not doing this. Let me go ahead. Yeah, this dude's an idiot. Let me go ahead. I'm going to kick this one off real quick, and then I'm going to shut up because I've been talking for a while. I don't know if this dude is a Hangman Adam Page fan and he didn't watch WWE. All right? I don't know if this dude sees him as a former WWE star and just goes off that. All right. I don't know if this guy got hit in the head with a baseball bat or ran over with a car, but what he said is utterly ridiculous. CM Punk tells the truth when it comes to this wrestling business. All right. He does. There's more that I'm going to go into later, and I will explain later. But, well, I can say it now because it's not giving away too much. It's a formula when you do this stuff. It's a formula. It's basic fundamentals when it comes to wrestling, professional wrestling. Just like there's basic fundamentals when you play basketball. There's basic fundamentals when you play football. There's basic fundamentals when you're trying to holler at a chick when her name's not Honeycutt.
And she's a great fruit out of this.
There is basic fundamentals when it comes to this, all right? And I am gonna wait and say what I'm gonna say later. But this dude and news stories like this is what brings the rest of the business down. He has no substance. He has no intelligence. The storyline looked good because I clicked on it. I mean, I got to give him that props. But I think it brings the rest of the business down. Marcus, go ahead.
I mean, in terms of CM Punk putting over a younger talent, I mean, to me, he did more for Wardlow and beat him than pretty much just about anybody else other than MJF. And the experience and even though he doesn't put them over per se, he makes them look good in a loss. Okay, as far as I'm concerned. And further to this thing with Hangman Page, now, from what my understanding was, it was mostly over the stuff with Colt Cabana. Is what my understanding was, that it was there was Colt Cabana supporters and CM Punk supporters.
That's one of the problems too. That's right. In addition to this. Right,
and Hangman Page was the one that spoke up on behalf of the other guys. Was what I thought the disconnect happened. I mean, I may have that wrong, but that's what I thought it was. But I'm not really sure where Page is coming from with this, because obviously I'm not there. But as far as not listening to the vets, I mean, Hangman Page isn't all that yet. We saw how his title run went, and I think he needs some advice. Obviously, I mean, he's a good wrestler. I'll give him that, but he's not at the point in his career yet where he can't listen. That he doesn't need some advice and some help from some more experienced and more talented guys. So I think Page needs to take a look in the mirror if he thinks he doesn't need to listen to some vets yet, as far as I'm concerned.
Tony, go ahead.
I'll be honest with you. I could go both ways on this one as far as like the issues with CM Punk. I mean, me personally, I'm a fan and I'm on his side. So before I give like the other side, his promo was on point. what's going on with and it is involving AIDS and Cabana and everything, though. But I thought, to be honest with you, you could combine them two and all the accolades, and it only equate to what CM Punk brings to the company, so they could both suck a dick. To be 1,000% honest with you, and that's what Tony Khan needs to tell them. Anybody got a problem with it? This is CM Punk. Adam Page don't hold a candle to him. Colt Cabana is a glorified job, in my opinion. When my favorite part of the promo is that's not cowboy shit, that's coward shit. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I have no problem with CM Punk did. But on the flip side, though, I can see why he's getting a lot of slack with his history, walking around WWE, not being happy, refusing to put Adam Page over. I get the pushback people are given. I mean, we've seen it in the group in Motown's wrestling group. I get it though, because if it wasn't CM Punk, if this was Hulk Hogan doing the same shit, or if this was or when Shawn Michaels wouldn't put over Bret Hart, if it was anybody else, everybody'd be all up in arms over it. If he walks out of the company, he's going to look bad, because you had issues in WWE, you walked out and everything. A lot of people's on the side, and now you go to AEW. If he leaves AEW, he's gonna look like Kevin Durant. Now, does he need to be there? No, he's definitely in the money. He doesn't have to be there. He doesn't put up with anything, though. But CM Punk is treading a fine line. I really hope that he don't hurt his reputation, his legacy, or anything like that by leaving, because it is going to be a bad look on him, though. But no matter what he does, though, I'm a CM Punk guy. Though. I'm always going to have that.
And, for Adam Page, his biggest profile match of his career is against CM Punk. When you talk about it, I mean, I just think now with McMahon stepping away, the landscape changed again. These guys got options again. They don't have to. They go to AEW because they didn't like management WWE, but now if you like some of the management, WWE's an option again. And there's still more money. I don't know, but it's always still about the money. Even Hulk Hogan's been brought back after some of the stuff he's done. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't tell me a CM Punk or Bryan Danielson can't show back up in WWE someday. Because it comes down to money. It comes down to these networks, what they want. With Reigns wrestling less and not showing up to every event, I think that's the way WWE is. The bigger the star, the less you got to work. So, just Adam Page, he hasn't been booked well. Him running with the Dark Order, I mean, that's his fault. I see CM Punk's the best thing that happened to that guy, to be honest with you. And until CM Punk brought his name up, I forgot about Adam Page again. I don't think about him. Do you? And I mean, we've all agreed he's the worst AEW champion reign that we've seen. So that's all I got to say.
Which is pretty impressive. Because John Moxley reign was
It's
yeah.
Well, that was because of the pandemic, though. I mean, Moxley would have had a better run if had everybody.
Adam Page reign as well.
Okay. But you and I, as business professionals, being in this industry, we know how volatile shoot promos can be. And what Punk did, going off script like that, I understand that it's exciting and it's gins up TV ratings, but you got to be careful about these sort of things. And unless Tony Khan approved it or Adam Page knew about it beforehand, it's going to make things in the locker room a little bit difficult, which is growing pains for AEW. And they got to deal with those things, and Tony Khan has got to deal with those things. If Tony Khan doesn't like it, he needs to get the whole locker room together and say, this is too far. We are going to do business my way, and if you don't like it, there's the door. If Tony Khan has enough cojones to do that, then all of this is going to blow over. It depends on whether he has the grapefruits, as Tony was just elaborating. But as far as shoot promos go, you got to be careful with them in the business because I only did it once. It was at a New Wave Pro show. It was the introduction to a Higher Ground episode. And I did it because I was angry at a certain young lady who shut me out of my high school reunion. And thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. But the thing is, only like 2 or 3 people in the world would know what I was talking about the way that I did that promo. Punk went for the throat and called out the person that he was shooting. And that's problematic in a business where people, it's remarkable how much professional wrestling mimics professional theater to the point where people live together, work together, sometimes sleep together, and get on each other's nerves. And that's the way that AEW right now is operating as like an independent organization feeling their way through. And the person that needs to rein this in is Tony Khan. Now, whether Punk was right or not depends on whether you believe Page started it. If he did, then Punk is in the right. If Punk overreacted to it, then he's in the wrong, and somebody needs to rein this in. That's why Tony Khan needs a booker. He needs one guy in charge of creative that's not him and not an MVP. And Bobby, I will let you finish this out because I'm right. Bobby, you go ahead.
Bobby for booking that. Bobby for booking.
Bobby, you go ahead.
But this is something that I also want to say on this. Me being in that locker room, all right. I came up in that and learning in the area to where it was right in between, where this new flippity doodah stuff was getting hot, and the old school was still around. The one thing you do, and I understand CM Punk, and I understand why he did it, is that the way that you learned in this business is because a veteran saw something, pulled you to the side, and said, "Hey, I see you did this. Let me ask you, why did you do that?" Well, in the match, I thought blah 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 blah. Okay, well, this is how I see it, and and then you talk about you talk about it. It's not saying you better do this, you better do that. Every professional, true professional, has that conversation. Now, this is where it kind of is in the middle for me, though. Because there are veterans out there that will try to use their status to try to gear you in a certain way so it can better them. Perfect example. I told the story about a certain gentleman that I was in a locker room with. They said I shouldn't do submissions. And 2 weeks later, he went up north and was doing submissions. Why? Because he wanted to stand out as the only dude that did submissions. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to look at who's saying it and why they're saying it. You have to. It's almost like talking to an ex-wife. Some ex-wives are good and some of them are bad. You gotta know which one. Yeah, there are a couple of good ones. There's very few, but but you want to make sure that person is saying it because they're trying to better you, or they're saying it because they're trying to see something that they like of yours and try to incorporate in their arsenal. CM Punk don't need to take anything from anybody. So he's telling it like it is, and he's genuinely giving his heart out, trying to show these young cats, look, this is what I think you should do. This is what I think that will work best for you, blah, 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 blah. And if you notice, everyone that's taken his advice has prospered. Heyman Page is this guy that right now has a good year blimp as ahead. He looks like Stewie. And he's right. It's not cowboy shit, it's coward shit. CM Punk hit that right on the head. Because you, as a young guy, just like I have, and I admit I did it once, because I knew this person was not about me. I just said it in a way of, I'll take what you say into consideration, but I honestly think you're full of crap. And walk off. Because at least that person knows where you stand. And they can't help but respect you because you told them to their face what you thought. But you didn't totally disagree because you'll think about what they said and see if there's anything in there that you will go ahead and take. Hangman Page basically on his interview just said, I just don't listen to him. That's just total disrespect. Just like Dax Harwood said in that interview after that Ring of Honor pay-per-view. These guys paved the way for you to get in that ring and to do the performance that you want to do.
Yep.
To wrestle the matches that you want to wrestle in front of all of these guys, these pay-per-view people, these TV people. They paved the way. Now, don't get me wrong, CM Punk don't come from the days of, well, wait a minute, hold on, thinking about it. Actually, they was going like 300 days a year in WWE, wasn't they, when he was wrestling?
Yeah.
So he's wrestling 300 days a year, and you walk in from Japan only wrestling once a week. Really? Or twice a week, sorry. Maybe 3 times with a pay-per-view. How are you going to sit up here and try to clown on this guy when he's done 10 times that you have in your whole career? It's the young generation that don't want to listen. It's the Kenny Omegas. It's the Young Bucks. It's that attitude that think I'm the best. And these old people don't know what they're talking about. But they don't realize when they're sucking right now. I mean, seriously, it's like a vacuum cleaner inside a tornado. They suck that bad. But they think they're the best. And I'm going to hold the rest of my comments till later because it folds into other stuff that we're going to be talking about later. But I'll leave it at that.
I'm looking forward to that part too of the conversation as well.
Yeah. Anybody else anything on the subject? All right, screw y'all. Next. Man, speaking of Kenny Omega.
Some of these guys just don't get it.
Can I just say this? I'm a Jim Cornette fan. I love Jim Cornette. He's done numerous things for
We got Paul Heyman guy behind us.
Yeah.
He hit Cornette with a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Paul Heyman. But no, seriously though, I'm a Jim Cornette fan. The dude tells the truth. He preaches the truth. He's a lot like me to a point, only he's a lot more brash than I am.
A lot more brash than most.
Yeah. That man don't care. He strokes it right down the middle.
Well, when you've been there and done it, you can.
Right. He deserves it. He earned that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he clowns on Omega, sometimes I feel bad for Omega. I do. Because you know what? Out of this whole bunch, the most potential that I see out of a wrestler that can turn their sucky ways around is Omega. I think he has the most talent to actually turn this crap around and be something. Now I know everybody tries to say, oh, he's the best wrestler in the world. No.
It's not a good storytelling.
Because I'm sorry, when he wrestled that 9-year-old kid, that 9-year-old kid was killing him. I mean, I'm serious. If you watch that match with that 9-year-old kid, that 9-year-old little girl was putting in work. And Kenny Omega was just flopping his curls.
And how long has Kenny Omega been out? What, 7, 8 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Punk was out 7, 8, 10 years and looked better than Kenny Omega in this match. That's what I don't understand.
But the thing I want to talk about Omega is the comments he made after Dynamite. Where's my book? Because I was so appalled by this. I had to write this down.
FTR.
Yeah, he said he pointed to the Young Bucks and said they are the best ever. I want to know what he was smoking because I ain't trying to smoke it on Labor Day weekend. When I come to Chicago, on my mind right, not what Omega's doing.
Young Bucks don't even stretch my top 5. I don't think they're in my top 10. If it's the best ever, that shouldn't a lot of tag teams.
Hold on. That's not the only thing he said. He said that they are not a tribute tag team. Really? No. And when we, which meant all three of them, made AEW, it was to change the way wrestling was forever. Okay, you curly head Shakespearean wish I was motherfucker. What the hell do you mean that you were trying to change? Now I'm starting to understand their wrestling style. Once he said that. With him saying FTR is nothing but basically hinting that FTR is nothing but a tribute team.
That's so disrespectful.
That's horrible.
Go ahead, Chris. Take it over. Take it, Chris. Go.
Just, we always talk about guys that get it. And the thing I love about FTR, especially Dax Harwood, is starting to become one of my all-time favorites. That's how good the guy is. It's just like in any sport, you have the guys that came before you. You show them love, you show them respect, and you learn from them. It looks like the Bucks and Kenny Omega taught themselves how to wrestle. Because the worst thing about them is they're not storytellers in the ring. They don't use their skill to enhance the match, to tell a story. The Bucks remind me of luchadors, that style of wrestling where it's quick tags, in and out, don't tell anything. Yeah, but the lucha style, they don't tell. You get super kicked 100 times. You get up, and then, like I said, Shawn Michaels was using it as a finisher for 20 years. So I just feel like the Elite, their light's gone, brother. It might be one of the best things that might happen to AEW was taking them out of their EVP spots because they literally set the matches up to make themselves lose for a year. They think they were going to take all the titles and then dominate for a year. I can't see them dominating ever again. Can you see them beating FTR for the belt and believing it?
They're not the best tag team in either company on my ROH.
Well, I mean
by 20 times.
3 years ago, Kenny Omega and CM Punk signed me up for the match.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care today.
Yeah.
Tony,
honestly, he's just straight up disrespectful. It was just straight up disrespectful because it's like you're talking about the Young Bucks, you trying to put them over as the greatest tag team of all time, and they're not even the greatest tag team in either company owned by Tony Khan.
They're not even the best tag team in Impact.
oh dear God.
I'm gonna take your word for that. I haven't seen Impact in a minute. You're probably right on that. Oh shit, you're right. The Good Brothers. You're right.
I was waiting for you to finish before I said it. Yeah.
You are absolutely right. Every single company got a team better than the Young Bucks. You got the Good Brothers in Impact. You got the Briscoes in ROH. You got FTR and AEW, and you got the Usos in WWE. Every company got a team better than this.
Take the women's tag team champions over
TikTok's the attraction over the Young Bucks.
Exactly.
And
Wow.
I'm not even
good.
fucking,
I'm
and I'm
good.
not even fucking with you. I would. Honestly, they more entertaining, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would much rather, I mean, truth be told, I'm dead ass serious. Go to women's division, I got a better team than the Young Bucks.
You don't tune in to watch the Young Bucks.
No, you don't. And it's sad because what Chris said is dead on point too, though, about Kenny Omega. 3 years ago, man, Punk Omega signed me up. Omega almost ain't just anybody. Omega Jericho 3 years ago. I mean, you could put him in there, just anybody. Now he's at the point where, like, I don't know if he does the EVP role went to his head. I don't know if it's the injuries, and I know he got a lot of injuries, what it is though, but Omega go away forever, and I wouldn't miss him. Well, probably bring a 10 of my eye, be the 50 Young Bucks with him. And I used to be Young Bucks fans. When we got ROH, I used to like the Young Bucks. Now it's just like I'm sick of seeing them. I am. It's got to be. I don't know if it's EVP roles or what, but them in AEW for the last several years, I could not see the three of y'all ever again and be fine.
Right.
Take Adam Page with you though, too, because like somebody mentioned, I think you said if Punk didn't mention Adam Page on Wednesday, I forgot he was there. So can't make it go away.
Okay. Let's set aside for a minute all of the. Basically, Kenny Omega was defending Adam Page with that promo. And he cut into a bunch of different people other than Punk backstage, and that's adding to the tension. As far as the talent of the elite go, the Bucks, Omega, Hangman Adam Page, they are good in their element. But for some reason, they have a hard time adapting to guys like Punk, like Danielson, like FTR, like the Briscoes, like anybody that branches out of their style. They have a problem adjusting. Now, Omega, to his defense, is coming back from a lot of injuries. And everything that they were talking about on the broadcast as far as the hernia he got fixed and his shoulder's still screwed up, and that was one of the reasons why he didn't shine in that six-man tag match, which, to my opinion, they should not have advanced. They should have let Andrade, Dragon Lee, and Roosh go ahead in that tournament. They should have been eliminated so that Kenny can heal fully before he gets back in. But regardless of how we look at the elite skills, which, as everybody pointed out, are limited. Regardless of that, I think that what we really need to focus on here is the fact that AEW is now starting to hit their growing pains phase. This is kind of like what happened with Chevy Chase and Bill Murray backstage at Saturday Night Live. They nearly got into a all-out brawl because the two couldn't stand each other. The same thing stands with Punk and Page. And now you've got everybody's friends jumping into the mix. Kenny is defending Page, and other people are defending Punk, and all of this goes back to the original issue with Cabana. Yeah, exactly. So we're talking about a situation that nobody is really right here. And again, we need somebody to rein it in, whether that be Tony Khan or somebody else backstage that's a little more mature. But Punk, in his own way, took it too far. Kenny took it too far, and now we got to pull things back.
The problem I have with Kenny's promo too is like I didn't know if he was trying to go on face or heel. Like it seemed like he was trying to be heel with what he was saying, and then he went a whole different direction. It's just like
See, that's the
sympathy, and then they
yeah.
say,
Like, see,
Hey
that's
guys,
the
guys.
Yeah.
Let Marcus go.
Oh, sorry.
Marcus, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, in terms of watching, I'm not even sure why Kenny Omega came back yet. Obviously, he's still not healthy yet. You know, he wasn't needed. You know, AEW is not starving for Kenny Omega. You know, twinkle toes make finger bang. You know, we're not in a rush for him to come back. You know, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But let's all of us who watch AEW know right now the Young Bucks are maybe the fourth best team on that roster, maybe. Okay, so and in terms of Page, I mean I know those are his boys. That's the core group that they started with in terms of the elite and all that kind of stuff. But Page just needs to sit his ass down, get himself healthy. You know, 3-4 years ago, I've always thought, Kenny Omega was a better wrestler than Cornette gave him credit for. I thought, but after seeing that match on Wednesday, and as he progressed over the past year, before he went out, the elite are a group that I call them a hot spot group. It's like, let me get my shit in. Let me make sure I get the super kick party, and this hot spot, that hot spot. But with Omega's matches, Young Buck matches, like Chris said, they don't tell a story. They don't set things up. And I think that's the problem they have with, FTR in particular. FTR tells a story in their matches, and they, put the hot spots in when necessary. But with the Young Bucks in particular, it's all about hot spot, and let's get out of there. That's what the fans want to see. So I don't really understand Vegas what he's talking about. Twinkle toes, just man, dude, take another couple of months off. You wasn't missed. Get yourself healthy, and come on back then, and let it be what it is.
All right, let me say my piece on this. And Marcus hit on it real quick. Hit on it a little bit. Marcus, let me tell you. Do you know the reason why he came back right now? He's not totally healthy.
What's that?
Because CM Punk and FTR was running that football like they was Herschel Walker going down that lane, getting that touchdown. The show was going to get away from him. The attention was getting away from him. People were starting to forget about the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega because they had them. And they needed to show their face real quick to remind them, I'm still here. I'm still here. But guess what? You still suck. You still suck.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Omega should. I can't. I'm not going to clown Omega for that performance because he was hurt. Okay? So I can't really say that he sucks off of that performance. I can, however, say he sucks from what he's done since he's been in AEW. I can say that he could do a lot better because he's shown that in New Japan. Mm-hmm. I can say that he has his head up his ass because he knows he can control his own fucking destiny. I can say he probably is the reason why Cody Rhodes left, because Cody was probably telling him, you can't do stuff like this, man. And them three was like, well, where's the EVP? We outnumber you. Let's get with the real here. That episode this week showed everything that is the problem with AEW. And it starts with the Young Bucks, which I would agree with you, Tony. I will put Toxic Attraction over the Young Bucks every day of the week, because guess what? The two women need to go over the two men that look like girls. Straight up. Second of all, Kenny Omega ain't the all supreme wrestler like everybody's trying to make him out to be. Because I guarantee you, if Kenny Omega wrestled CM Punk and CM Punk is in that mood, he would wrestle him just like superstar TJ Powers did Rampage Radisson. Oh no, you should have seen that match. That was beautiful.
I can only imagine. This one when we talked about last time we were here. I can only imagine.
Because Rampage Radisson just thought he was Mr. Big Stuff, and I'll tell you more about this later off the air. But he just thought he was big stuff. And I just looked at TJ, and TJ was just like, well, I guess we're going to have this match. Okay. And the way TJ ragdolled him and still put him over. That was what's so beautiful about it. He still put him over. Oh my God, it was so lovely. And I still crack up to it to this day because I'm just like, and that's what it reminds me of. That's what this Kenny Omega stuff reminds me of. Because Rampage Radisson also books too. It seems like when certain people get this booking title under their head, or EVP, or whatever executive title you want to give them, Stewie all over again. Their head looks like a freaking blimp. And they use that in a political manner to promote their own way instead of promoting the show. Now, this is what Kenny Omega said exactly, because I wrote it down. I kind of paraphrased some of it. He said, "We are not a tribute act. We are not a parody." Taking shots at FTR, of course. We are not selfish. Why is it when I look at Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, I see my ex-wife and two of my ex-girlfriends? Just saying.
That kind of question your choice in women.
Yeah, it does.
Oh God! Don't get me started.
They are changing wrestling. They are changing okay, listen to this. They are changing the wrestling world and how you consume it. Always been when they started AEW, it's always been the idea of a smorgasbord of wrestling. Wait a minute. Let's stop right there. Doesn't those last two contradict each other?
Yeah.
A little bit, yes.
A little.
A little bit. No, let me. I think I understand what he's trying to say. It's just
please translate the foreign alien where that Chris Statlander used to talk and tell us what the heck you meant by this thing.
Okay. What Omega was trying to say.
It doesn't matter what he said. No. Yes.
Okay,
follow me.
Chris.
Go ahead, Rob. I'm just playing.
I'll be real quick, Rob. I just want to caution shenanigans. Like, we knew Cody wasn't going to wrestle for the world title, so they made that TNT title. It felt like when they said there was going to be a 6-man tag title, that they made this title just so they could put some belts on these guys again and try to make them feel relevant. So if they win this tournament, call them shenanigans. Everything he said in that promo is a lie.
Yep.
I concur. If the Bucks and Omega win the tournament, then they are indeed putting themselves over for no reason. But what I was trying to say is that, and I know it doesn't matter, okay, I get it, but I think what Omega was trying to say is that their purpose in starting AEW was to get over different styles of wrestling in the United States that was not over before. Lucha, strong style, and the stuff that Omega and the Bucks cut their teeth on in Japan. That's what he was trying to say. The other parts of the promo about the parody teams and about like tribute teams, that was unnecessary. There was no reason to trash anyone in that promo because nothing wrong with FTR, nothing wrong with Punk. I understand they were defending their friend Paige, but most of that was unnecessary. But I get what Kenny was trying to get at, in that they were their main purpose supposedly was trying to innovate the business to bring in other styles of wrestling that North America is unfamiliar.
Question for you, Rob.
Yeah.
How was Slamman FTR defending Paige?
Apparently, because FTR, according to them, is on Punk's side when it comes to the promo. But all of this is just growing pains on the part of AEW's part. And as right now, they're letting some of that bleed over into TV, and Tony Khan needs to put a stop to it.
Yeah. That leads to what I was going to say, because to be honest with you, no matter what, it's on Tony Khan.
Yeah.
It's on Tony Khan, because right now...
Marcus, you're right. It's on Tony Khan.
Wait, Marcus had a problem with booking, but this is the problem. This is not booking. This is
talent related.
This is being the boss.
Yeah.
This is being the boss. As the boss, as the owner, as the one in charge, he needs to step up and squash this shit, to be honest with you. If he needs to step in there and tell him, knock it off. Like, if Kenny... I don't really think CM Punk went off script, because from the rumors that I heard, and everything's rumors, though, from the rumors I heard, CM Punk and Tony Khan had a long conversation in his dressing room before the show went on the air, though. So I really don't think that Punk went off script. I don't think Punk did anything that Tony Khan didn't know was going to happen, which is the boss. I do think that Kenny Omega went off script, and this is when Tony Khan needs to step up and be the boss. The things that are going on in AEW, and we could talk all the shit we want to about Vince McMahon. And to your point, Bobby, from the previous debate that you two had, where you mentioned the years of experience that Vince had over Tony Khan, but Vince wouldn't let this stand. No. This shit wouldn't happen with Vince.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. I agree.
And if Tony Khan don't step up and be a boss, and Tony Khan don't step up and squash the shit, if Tony Khan don't reconnect the locker room, it's going to end like WCW.
Be a boss. Don't be their friend.
Yeah.
Don't be their buddy. Everybody's buddy.
Yes.
It seems like Tony Khan.
When it comes down to dollars and cents, though, I think that Tony Khan he's not a stupid.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. And I think when it comes right down to it, if he's got to control his company, I think he will step up.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I look at it as Tony Khan needs to get a glove, have Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks stand there, smack them all in the face and say, shut the hell up. Just go down the line. If they even twist, go back.
Yeah. Because Tony touched on everything I was going to say. Vince was watched this shit a long time ago. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Marcus, let me say this straight out. I apologize for defending Tony Khan during our debate. I am ashamed of myself. I'm going to put myself in the corner.
Good job, Marcus, because I haven't got an apology from Rob Gifford defending Hulk Hogan since that.
Oh, no, come on.
Well, you know what? I'm waiting for my teeth.
Hey, I was not defending Terry Bollea. Get that straight.
Wait.
I'm waiting for my apology.
Hold on. If we're going to talk about Hogan, though, at least Hogan did have power though, to where he was the one selling tickets. You can't say that about the Young Bucks and Omega.
Yeah, that's true.
Because guess what? Look at the statistics. When CM Punk is on TV, you get over 1 million viewers on average. When Omega's on there, you only get a 950,000, 900 to 950,000.
If that much.
Right. If you translate that into ticket sales, okay, $50 a ticket. That's $5 million. So who I'm gonna listen to? The guy that's gonna get me that $5 million.
Exactly.
I mean, just straight up, that's just ridiculous. But
and then Omega had this change to carry the company, and we see where it went and how much and where it went when Punk came in. So I mean, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah. Now, speaking of these two camps is developing right now, okay? We got basically the Young Clucks, Adam Page, Hangman, Hang Yourself, Adam Page, and Twinkle Toes. On the other side, you got CM Punk and FTR. And if you think about that, kind of badass because they don't even need a fourth person. They just CM Punk and FTR. They don't even need a fourth person. My thing is, do you think this is good for AEW having these two camps? I'm gonna go last to this one, Marcus, to go first.
I'm gonna say no. To me, it's like back in the Era 2 era where you had to click against everybody else, particularly Undertaker. I forgot what they called, but the Undertaker's thing. I mean, it's going to translate onto TV, and it's not going to even be as good of TV because the wrestlers aren't as good for the most part. And with Tony Khan's booking, he's not even smart enough to make that into quality TV like Vince did. So I say no, it's not, because Tony Khan is not going to be smart enough to make this real life soap opera that we all can get a kick out of. It's going to make too much drama backstage. That's going to affect the overall product, I say.
Rob.
Okay. The way I look at this is that, like I said, AEW is going through growing pains. And we knew that was going to happen because they're a very young company and they know that at some point in time they're going to have to deal with backstage tensions. And as far as the locker room taking sides go, all of that, again, comes down to Tony Khan. If he can figure out, if he can lay down the law, then it's not going to cause a great deal of division and the company can survive. And if he can bring in somebody that can, like, bring in law and order in the locker room, all the better. Because if he doesn't, William Regal, that's a good example. So, yeah, because Regal does know how to control the locker room. So if he does make that a part of what he's going to do, that'd be great. But right now, I don't see that the locker room tension. I mean, all of this is rumor, and all of it could be overblown, as far as we know. Because a couple of months ago, we were talking about MJF definitely going to WWE, and now it looks like he may show up in All Out. So all of this is rumor. All of it could be overblown, but if it is a serious problem, then I think Tony Khan and whoever else he wants to put in charge of the book for either AEW or ROH, they need to have the wherewithal to put everybody in check. And I think they do. AEW will survive.
I agree with Rob and Marcus. Also, this happened to WCW in the late 90s. It looks like when I watch AEW, that's the fourth WWE show on television. Because if you look how the locker room split, there's levels to this. The WWE guys are taking over. FTR, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Cesaro's there now. John Moxley.
William Regal.
But that would cause some friction. I would think just naturally, like, oh, you bring in all these WWE stars and look at the friction and how they're getting booked.
Yeah.
But there's levels to this. They didn't just bring in WWE stars. Miro might be the least accomplished wrestler they brought in. They brought in mega stars. They brought in champions. They brought in guys that can argue from Chris Jericho to CM Punk to Bryan, best in the world, and mean it and live it. So I would think that would cause some friction in the locker room just based on that alone. WWE, AEW thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris nailed it on the head though, because I mean, basically that's how I look at it. And Tony Khan got step up and be involved, and he's got squashed this stuff though. But that's the problem, because you've got like AEW is the alternative to WWE, but AEW is a product of WWE with the people that's on top right now, and it's kind of been there from the beginning because Jericho was the first champion. He's WWE guys. They're trying to bring up their talent though, but they were like, okay, he's gonna be the one to get us on the map. And it's gonna be our time to shine. And then when Jericho's time was up, it was our time to shine. They put the title on Moxley. CM Punk, I mean, a lot of people got a problem with CM Punk, and the big reason is he hasn't been there a year yet. I mean, he's just coming up on a year, right? Yeah. And he on top of the game. He's the guy. Yeah. So there's definitely gonna be resentment there, though, and it's gonna be different than it was in WWE because they're looking at him like coming in from the outside, taking their spot. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of tension there, though, but Tony Khan can't sit back and expect this to work itself out. Because if Tony Khan sits back and expects it to work out and don't step up to be a boss, it's going to work out. It's going to work out to them being out of work.
All right, let me say my piece of this. There's a saying that I always had to myself whenever I went through the ranks. There is no spot to be taken if you don't give it up. Which means if you don't do what you're supposed to do and you have everybody else working with you, then there is not a spot that somebody can take from you. It can only be given to somebody else, or you give it to somebody else. And my examples are the promoter can do it because they're friends with them and they giving them a spot to shine harder than you all. Been a victim of it, had it happen, went through it. All right. But you could be the catalyst of your own demise too. The thing is, everybody saying, well, why is all these WWE guys coming taking the top spots? What original AEW wrestlers came that's there? They could take a top spot. Omega's not good. He's better than the rest of them, but he's not the caliber of CM Punk. He's not the caliber of any other Miro. He's not even. I mean, I would say he's barely over Miro. But when you look at these spots that they're taking, it's because they have experience. They've done well. They've proven that they can put the ratings on the board, and they have. Right. These guys have made pleasurable matches. So you can't expect someone that's not doing well to take a spot of someone that is doing well. So, yeah, guess what? I think it's good. And actually, to tell you the truth, I agree Tony Khan has to step up. But here I am, my mind goes to work. But I'm going to tell you exactly how I would do it if I was Tony Khan. You own Ring of Honor. You own AEW. Wait a minute. You're getting mad because they're doing this, and you're getting mad because they're doing that. So this is what we're going to do. The Young Clucks, Hangman, Adam Sage, and Kenny Omega, y'all on one side. Pick one, ROH or AEW. Actually, take AEW since you want to say you're the original AEW. That's why you came over here. Take AEW. Take it. Screw it. CM Punk, Audio, FTR, your Ring of Honor. And do what the WWE has and have them grab people to their side. Now, if you think about what I'm saying, you will realize that I'm laying everything in Kenny Omega's hands. Kenny Omega's mentality. He's going to pick his buddies over than who's the best wrestler. So his side of his innovation of how we consume wrestling is going to try to turn. CM Punk is going to get the best workers. CM Punk is going to get a powerhouse Hobbs over there.
Yeah.
A Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Jeff Perry.
And then I let him go at it. You got 1 year. Out of 52 weeks out of the year, who has the best wrestling? And let them go head to head in the separate companies for a year. And then at the end, you have 51 weeks, and at that 52nd week, you have an overall show. The ones who won out of the 51 weeks will win that show. And guess what? I can guarantee you CM Punk and them will get more ratings than the Young Bucks. And then they can shut the hell up. I'm giving you an opportunity to show what you're saying will override what they're doing. Giving them the opportunity, giving them a budget, they have to stick by that budget, and they got to do what they got to do to get the ratings, right?
Well, that would certainly settle it, yeah.
And guess what? If they don't do it, they don't need to say shit no more.
Yeah.
Now, if they do eclipse them, hey, give them all the props of the world.
No.
But I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen.
That wouldn't work.
But, I mean, seriously, would that make sense?
It
Yeah.
wouldn't work the way you described it.
You said what?
It wouldn't work
Why wouldn't it?
because first of all, they're not even on an even playing field. AEW has 2 hours. Ring of Honor does even if Rampage is 1 hour on a Friday. So the ratings, if you judge it by the ratings, it'll never ever. That's an uneven playing field for whoever's.
Quality for an hour, then
You
crap
have
for
a
2
TV on in the background?
Nah,
Okay, I'm hearing stuff in the background.
What, no more?
it's
I'd
hard to say.
rather go quality for an hour than crap for 2 hours. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it's not even an even field to properly judge it. I mean, look at NXT. NXT had a better overall show than AEW, but pretty much lost in the ratings every week. So you can't even use that as a comparison.
I don't know. I think it will work.
No, I think get where Marcus is coming from, and here's the thing that will make it work. If you got to give Ring of Honor like quality TV time.
Exactly.
Oh, I agree with that. They would have
Like
to get
the way it's structured right now with ROH, it won't work. But if ROH, like honestly, you kill Rampage. AEW got 2 hours. ROH got 2 hours of quality TV time. It
Yeah.
could work.
Exactly.
It just can't work the way Ring of Honor is structured right now.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's just Ring of Honor does not have any TV time at all. They're leeching off of AEW's. They need to structure ROH to the point where they can really compete. And then Bobby's idea would work because you're going to have like Tony Khan using the 2 shows to compete against each other. And that would be a great proving ground for who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
Right now, I just wish that everybody would work together toward a cohesive goal.
I mean, that's the thing because like where they are right now, they're not going to get there to fight. They got to work together to get to where they want to go. Though they got to. if you're competing against if you're like fighting with each other, trying to get there, it's not gonna happen. It's not.
And the roster is full of talent.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it. They got so much talent on our roster that it needs to be going.
Yeah, especially since the co-op needs to stay. ROH, AEW, New Japan, NWA, and all the anti-WWE coalition needs to hold together, especially now that WWE is improving. They need to make sure that they can take a stand. If they can't, if people are on different pages, then Bobby's right, then AEW will go down.
I agree with that.
And you got that to the Triple H thing too, though, because it's like when all this started, it was the product that Vince McMahon was putting out. We see the product that
Yeah. A lot of which ended up in AEW.
Okay, whoever the Facebook user is, thank you. Hello to you as well. That's kind of cool. That kind of popped up on the show.
Bad man.
That's not my slogan. Sorry.
No, but the game has changed.
Yes.
So they gotta get on their shit now because the game has changed. Because now it's like, oh, we're not running away from this old senile ass and the way he does business. They're looking over there like business is picking up over there. It's not WWE is not such a bad option no more.
Yeah.
Because as it stands, WWE already audience is already double what WWE is already, and so if WWE continues to improve, they're really going to run away from AEW.
Some of Triple H guys are already like looking at their end dates on those contracts.
Yeah.
You know, McMahon was acknowledged. He never acknowledged the promotion. Triple H knows AEW exists. He knows what's going on over there. So, you know, this is the healthy competition that we all want.
Remember when DS went into the Hall of Fame? They acknowledged AEW because they're doing part of everything. You know, that was just call. That was a just call.
Yep.
It was a bit.
Well,
no matter what though, this is a good time to be a fan.
Yeah.
This is getting real interesting. But this is the one thing I want to ask y'all about.
Hey, wait, real quick. Real quick, sir. Sir. Can I get a Modelo? Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you guys this real quick, and this is something that kind of shocked me when I saw this.
This is shocking. I think so.
Moxley versus Punk this Wednesday for free? Really? Tony, go first. Go first, Tony.
Who's going first? Oh, I get to go first?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do it.
First of all, we got a family next to us. I get it. I absolutely love the segment with CM Punk.
Yes.
One of the things CM Punk said, John Moxley is not the best person in his faction. He's third best in his faction, just like he's third best in his former faction. You know why I love this? Do you guys remember when we discussed them putting an interim title on John Moxley? We all say he's not even the best person in the faction, much less best person in the company. Why are they putting a title on him?
Right.
Claudio deserves a lot more than him. And Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world. So when he said that, spot on, because John Moxley do not deserve to be in that spot. Eddie, he went off script to Eddie Kingston, the third best Eddie that he ever wrestled, the second best Kingston in the life.
Eddie Guerrero.
That's the only other Eddie I could come up with.
Eddie Gilbert. I think he didn't.
No, he didn't wrestle Eddie Gilbert.
No, Kingston.
Yeah.
No, but he said he said he was the third best Eddie. So Eddie Guerrero, and then there's another Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Kingston.
Yeah,
He's
probably.
the second best.
Yeah. Meaning, yeah.
Punk's promo was on point though. I mean, it was like, because the nice thing is, especially after the Hangman Adam Page stuff, Punk is a genius with his promos, because you watch it, like, is it scripted? Is he gonna be going on business on his own? What's going on here? And in my opinion, as a fan, I mean, it might not be best for the locker room, but as a fan, it's great. Because Vince McMahon broke down that wall. Like, we all know what wrestling is, though. So when you could, like, get out there and perform and make fans, especially, like, the five of us, as, like, long time, like, watching this shit for many years, if you make us question how legit this is, you wanted something. You are definitely wanted something, though. Punk, I mean, not Punk. Moxley came out, thought he did a decent job with the rebuttal and everything, but I don't really think that he did as good of a job as CM Punk on the mic. But I think he did hold his own and everything, But I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully, Punk is clear, because this is one of 3 matches that we know that we're gonna get all out, which kind of pisses me off, and we'll talk about that later. And Punk's not even cleared to wrestle yet. But 2 weeks, he better be clear. The second time in the last 3 months, I'm going to see the AEW wrestler in Chicago. If I don't see CM Punk, I'm going to be pretty sick. But I'm enjoying the program they're doing, though, and there's no reason why CM Punk should not dog walk Moxley in that match, because Moxley didn't deserve that title. Like Punk said, he's the 3rd best wrestler in his faction. But second time.
Doesn't make it.
Wow, go ahead.
Oh, you want me?
Yeah.
All right. I agree that Punk and Moxley's interviews, the promos they cut with their own. Yeah, I did. This conversation requires it, okay? Now, see? Okay.
I was just surprised to see it.
Punk, I'm the one that pushes that. Okay. Now, Moxley and Punk, their 2 promos stood apart well enough. I am not completely convinced that we're not going to get Punk and Moxley and All Out. I think there's going to be some kind of screw job ending at Dynamite next week that is going to necessitate a rematch, and that we're still going to have 2 world champions at the end of that match. Some of it may have to do with MJF, some of it may have to do with something else, but I am convinced that we're still going to get Punk, Moxley, and All Out. How that's going to happen, I don't know, but I don't think that it's going to be that cut and dry, because the way those 2 cut those promos on each other was golden in the context of the 2 of them together. And take away Paige, take away all the backstage stuff that we're talking about. Punk versus Moxley, promo-wise and physically, is going to be a great match on Dynamite, and it's going to be a great match at All Out. And I'm not convinced that we're going to not get our cake and eat it too here. I think there's going to be a screw job ending to Punk, Moxley at Dynamite, and it's going to come down to something else at All Out, and we're still going to get Punk, Moxley. We're still going to get the unification at the paper.
And I'll get all that theory.
Well,
Yeah.
the rumors are that they pushed this match up because MJF is returning home.
They great.
So I know if you guys go to All Out, MJF, CM Punk, I know you guys were just saying sign me up, because that's what we've been waiting for. MJF's definitely been missed from television.
Yes, we've been waiting for the pus to explode, and that's going to happen at All Out.
Savage every now and then. This reminds me of the old WCW. They put in that language. Goldberg and Hogan falling Nitro for the title. I mean, it's almost the equivalent. Now they're not as big as names as Hogan and Goldberg, respectively, but I think they can't make this a throwaway match.
You could argue that they were because Goldberg was still pretty young at the time. So Hogan had a big name.
Yeah.
Goldberg, I don't think name-wise is where these guys are at. So you can make the argument.
It's close. It's close.
It's close.
Hogan's name recognition taking over the top, but it ain't like they distance apart.
Absolutely. And it's just this goes back to that booking that you talked about. I don't understand why they do this shotgun booking, where you want to tell a story and do it. Seems like they want to get past this Moxley Punk thing as fast as possible and get it over with. Unify the belts, CM Punk's champ. Let's move forward. So pretty much, if you think about it like that, they're just trying to Wednesday. That's it. You know what I mean?
They're trying to get past it because it really becomes Raw.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the biggest problem. We lead into All Out. We lead into like the unification between John Moxley and CM Punk at the pay-per-view, and they realize this is the biggest match we can put on. They're trying to build it as the biggest main event
To be fair, if Punk wrestlers pennies in a bunch over the page thing, they could put Moxley over realistically, and then Moxley would drop it to MJF.
But
hey, well, let Marcus go. Marcus.
When I saw the announcement, I was like kind of surprised, and my thought was, okay, if they change the match, then that must mean they must have somebody else in mind for All Out. Of course, it may be MJF, because it's getting to the point where we haven't even talked about MJF in months, and it's an out of sight, out of mind thing. But in my opinion, I'm wondering, would this be the best way to bring MJF back in the first place? I mean, are they willing to put the title on him already? Probably not. Are they gonna have him come back and lose again already? Probably not. If I would think the best way, if they're going to bring MJF back, is to reignite the feud with Wardlow. Finish telling that story, I think. But I'm hoping that Rob's not correct and they do some kind of screw job where they have the match on Wednesday, then have it again at All Out. I don't want to see that. So I hope that's not what happens. But I'm thinking that would be the only reason, is to bring somebody back bigger than Moxley. I mean, yeah, it'll be a nice pop. Yeah, it'll probably even be a better match, probably. I would rather actually see MJF and Punk again over Punk and Moxley. Personally, I would rather see that anyway. But I guess we'll just see what happens.
All right. Now, my thing is this. I actually am happy that they're getting Moxley on a TV show. Because in my opinion, Moxley don't deserve to have that belt at the pay-per-view, period. I don't think Moxley should have that belt at the pay-per-view whatsoever. I don't think he's a champion. I think he was good when he was champion, when he had it, for the time that it was. But for right now, and things are getting going, no, he don't need that. He should not have that belt.
let's go after you.
They should make a hardcore belt just for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we sit down and we talk about All Out, I do think MJF is coming back. I think that's going to be his surprise opponent. He's going to walk at the end of this match. At the end of this match, what's up, Victor? At the end of this match, what's going to happen is he's got to figure out who he's going to face it all out, and MJF is going to walk out. He's gonna be like, bam. And I'm sorry, I'm going nuts over that one.
MJF's like Stone Cold, man. He's on that whole hero now.
Boy.
I'm telling you.
So this might not be as bad as what it appears to be.
This is your favorite.
But
we did not realize.
I'm telling you, I think MJF is coming back hardcore now because WWE is pulling out their weapons.
Yep.
They have yet to pull out their ultimate weapon, which is MJF. And I'm sorry, nobody else in WWE can top that dude.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, in my opinion, if they're gonna go with like MJF at versus CM Punk at All Out, they really dropped the ball. Really dropped the ball. We 2 weeks away from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I would rather
So
see MJF come back with some.
CM Punk and MJF is money, but it's not like a last minute money. That's something you build on. That's like 4 to 6 weeks of TV programming. Building up to that. And if you're gonna make MJF come back into that spot, Chicago is the worst place to do that. You're gonna get a much better return on your investment in any city other than Chicago against any other person other than CM Punk. MJF's return in Chicago, please, come on.
He's gonna play the heel in Chicago, though.
Yeah,
The heel. Yeah.
He's gonna play the heel. But he's gonna be the biggest baby face in the company after that match. I guarantee it.
but I don't.
I don't see him being a baby face. He's not going to be a baby face.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem I have with it.
Let's go back to what Marcus says. Tony Khan's booking.
Yeah.
This is how the guy books. He wants to have the surprise.
This is like
fireworks.
This is like booking like a main event at WrestleMania, like at the last second you find out who the main event is. Like it's too big of an event to be like a last minute main event when you've been leading up to like Punk and Moxley for that main event at that pay-per-view.
Let me interject.
I just don't like how that looks.
Well, I understand that you don't like how it looks, and maybe you're right, but we have been anticipating for a couple of years now the breaking of the Bloody Sixth, and the championship reign of MJF we knew was coming, and that this may be the catalyst for it, because you want a whole building full of bloodthirsty fans that want to like rip MJF's head off when he wins that belt. So Chicago might be the perfect place for it.
But the way it's going right now, I think his part of business is me. You go in business as usual because first of all, the card itself, we don't have a card for All Out. Take the main event last minute, I don't think it's a good look for them.
But he's never defended the title yet. That's why this Wednesday thing, you know what I mean? They mentioned that too. He never defended the title.
But you have Punk to beat Moxley at the pay-per-view. And they have come out and set up a program next week.
Moxley at the main event of all these pay-per-views. Look where it's got him though. It's
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Holy God.
Because the fact that John Moxley,
we've never said Moxley's match was the best match on the card, but it's the main event.
but right now, this booking is like AEW trying to be reactive versus proactive. Because they're being reactive to their screw up, put the title on the begin with. Because we all knew Moxley was a bad person to pick as champion.
But let Bobby.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
I actually haven't had the reverse thought on this. I think this is kind of good. And the reason why I think this is kind of good is because you have seen that same planning for years. You know, big event, WWE, and it's usually Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Basically, that's what you've seen. You know, and so it's kind of good to put in a little twist there at the end. So then you would expect this, and then all of a sudden you got this. You're not happy about that? I think this is a different way of trying to do something to try to get people to watch even closer to the product. And to say, oh, we already know what's up, I got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? That's what some people do. They're like, okay, well, because you got to understand, TV is their main bread and butter. So you want that TV watching up more than you do the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, hold on. I don't watch the TV show and they switched the main event on me. How did that happen? Whoa, I need to watch this show every day to see what's going on. And I need to tune in all the time.
The older he gets, more.
So I get the mentality. It's kind of weird, but I get the mentality and the reason behind him doing it. Because you got to please your TV station. You know, so put that Moxley Punk match on Wednesday, but I'm going to have MJF on All Out. And think about it. You got one more week before All Out. MJF, all he needs is one promo to get everybody hyped.
Yeah, that's no program. I would like MJF and CM Punk. I like to see that go for some weeks, so I don't want like a week or two of that, then it's over.
Well, think about this. We want that we want to see that long program is because we enjoy seeing them out there doing that program. That's why. I don't want to see Adam Page out there all the time. You know?
Think about this. There may be a solution here that we're not looking at. Three-way dance. Punk, Moxley, and MJF. And that may be what they're saving for the paper.
I think,
I'll go ahead, Mark.
you know, to touch on what Bobby said, I think a would be to have the Moxley match on All Out and then have MJF come out and either beat the shit out the winner or beat them both. And now, come Wednesday, we're all waiting for that MJF promo. Now that would be, to me, must watch TV. And you make that match special at All Out, especially it being in Chicago, will be a better way to promote and to book. But again, I'm not gonna go into Tony Khan and his creative again, but because to me, having the match on Wednesday is a waste, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. Yeah,
Maybe so, but I still think there's going to be a screw job ending, and that we're going to get some form of Moxley versus Punk at All Out. But we need the maximum heat for the MJF title. We need the absolute maximum cyst-busting heat that will cover all of us in pus. That's what we need for the MJF title.
Yeah,
They could go WrestleMania.
the lady down
Was it
there.
Oh,
Yeah, they could go like.
but do a better job of it though.
It would be the doppelganger.
So you have CM Punk beat Moxley for the title. You have CM Punk cut a promo in front of his hometown fans on how great he is, and nobody can beat him. And then all of a sudden, hey Punk, it's me again, bud. Stop that match real quick, make it a better match. If you do that match. But you can have two title matches at All Out, and you have a unification title, and then you have CM Punk. CM Punk they're defending it against MJF afterwards.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. I want to see Jade Cargill come out and beat everybody.
But the only thing with that is, first of all, we're assuming that MJF is coming back, which we don't know yet. And then if CM Punk is standing out there talking about how great he is, that's a heel promo. He's not doing a heel promo in Chicago.
Well, you guys also mentioned in one of the earlier segments that just rumors. It's around CM Punk. It's always, is he going to leave if he doesn't get his way and things like that? Do you think it'd be a panic move on this match? Because just him getting injured after winning the title, that's up in the last pay-per-view. In a way, you don't have your world champion on the pay-per-view. I'm questioning.
I could barely hear you.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Yeah.
Talking as loud as you guys. I feel like I'm straight.
No, his question was, if
Sounds like a panic move.
is it a panic move to put Moxley on the? No.
No. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now I was asking if it's a panic move on their part with CM Punk getting injured after he won the title and not having their world top champion on the show. So they're ensuring they're going to get the matches they want because like you guys said in the earlier segment, Punk could walk. He's that volatile where something he don't get his way. So why not book the matches that they want and get them knocked out the way?
Yeah, what he said.
Good
You
point.
know what?
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think CM Punk is going to walk. I don't think he's legacy be like that, but we never know. But again, to me, that's bad booking to just throw matches together without any kind of build up. Bad booking. But then again, we're talking about Tony Khan, who built bad booking, so maybe so.
If you Google bad booking, you'll see Tony Khan's face.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Should be his middle name.
Tony Bad
Tony
Booking
Bad
Khan.
Booking.
Yep.
That ain't even right, man.
I'm just saying.
All right, moment of the week in wrestling. Tony, go first.
Okay, because I had two moments because I didn't know I was going to go first. And I know my moment was going to be taken since I'm going first.
I know what you're gonna say too. That's why I got
Sorry. Wait. Sorry, Marcus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. The CM Punk promo.
Yeah.
That promo was fire. That promo was on point. Punk. And before from what I hear, the rumors had it though. Punk and Tony Khan had a long conversation in his dressing room before the show went on the air. So I really don't think it was one of those things where like Punk went off script and did anything that the boss didn't know about. At the time, I might not know, but I know the boss sure knew. The shots that he took, I mean, it was shot fire. He kicks off. I mean, and I didn't even catch it the first time. I watched the promo twice, and I caught it the second time. I recommend watching the promo 2 times to catch the little stuff that fucked up. He started off with like, let's get the unimportant stuff out the way. And that's how he led into the stuff with Adam Page. The unimportant stuff. Now went from the Cowboy shit, the Cowboy shit, and then moved on to John Moxley. Point out how Moxley always the third person in his faction. Eddie Kingston, like third best Eddie he ever wrestled, the second best Kingston in the locker room. I mean, everything that he said, I mean, that promo was on fire. Punk was on point, and I absolutely love that promo though. So it was by far, not even close, my moment of the week. But since I got to go first, Mastermind, you were subject to Mandy Rose. Still, your NXT Women's Champion, because that was my backup moment of the week. And somebody took mine. So you did the right thing, Mastermind, by having me go first. I'm going to pass it on to Rob.
Oh, my ears hurt after that.
Okay, my moment of the week is also a tie. Danielson versus Garcia, 2 out of 3.
That was good.
That match was
That was
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Could not be topped by anything else this week.
It was phenomenal.
Yes, that match was a love letter to professional wrestling, and I just loved it. The thing that ties with it though is the promos for Bailey's faction.
I'm sure.
And the reason I say that is because Bailey is back in a big way, and she's got Io Shirai. I refuse to call her Io Sky. It's Io Shirai and Dakota Kai.
Kind of like how I said call Walter Walter.
It's false.
Whatever you choose to call these ladies, they are kicking ass and taking names. And I don't. It's a shot in the arm to the women's division of WWE. And since like 99% of our stuff is AEW oriented this week, I thought I would give a shout out to the ladies in WWE because they are really coming up. So those are my 2 moments.
Before you pass it on, I will piggyback on what you're saying though. Everybody know I hate TBD, Bailey. I'm gonna give her all the props in the world though. What they're doing he's spot on that. I will give Billy a credit. I will.
Since she dropped Sandra D, Bailey has been magic. So
I'll give her a credit.
We'll go to Chris.
All right. My moment is just another announcement of a match. So we got the announcement Moxley versus Punk next week. But on that card is going to be Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal. Yes. When I'm talking about that might be the match of the week. But when I heard it, I said, "Oh, sign me up." Because I'm thinking All Out, they're doing FTR and Wardlow versus Lethal and them. So now they got Lethal and Dax for wrestling next Wednesday night.
I missed that. Okay.
Their AEW's giving me oh yeah.
No, you're good.
I was just saying, it's just an announcement of a match, but AEW has been giving me some of those dream matchups that we thought we would never see.
Marcus, go ahead.
Well, I knew depending on when I went, somebody was going to take my first 2 moments of the week. So my third one is
I took the first one, didn't I?
when the tag team title match with Keith Lee and Swerve against the Private Party.
Oh,
And,
yes. Yes.
The match itself was good, but what made it one of my moments of the week was this was the first time in a long time I could remember two black tag teams going for the titles. Now, I know New Day and what's that team? The team I hate. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who the dudes? Dawkins and what's their names? The Red Cup guys.
Street Profits.
Yeah, Street Profits wrestled at Survivor Series, but I don't remember them wrestling for the titles. So I might be incorrect on that, but just seeing two black tag teams wrestling for the world titles was a pleasant sight for me to see. That was my
good teams. Two good teams, regardless.
Let me say something.
Okay, can I say something before you go, Mastermind? And this is something that me and you discussed. The WWE brought back Hit Row without Sir Strickland. I told Bobby, this is like bringing in the Fabulous Freebirds without Michael P.S.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand it though. Sir Strickland, I'm happy he's doing his thing over there on the AEW.
Just one quick thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mastermind. I gotta give him the MVP because Keith Lee's fantastic.
Yeah.
But Swerve Strickland is putting in work right now, and something Marcus always talks about. There's no coonery with these two guys. You know what I mean?
They ain't chucking and driving.
Yeah, they're not chucking and driving. You believe their characters, but the guy's putting on quality matches. And he used to be sloppy in NXT. It seems like he's cleaning up and he's wrestling. He slowed down a bit.
Bobby, go ahead.
Well, my moment of the week was Strickland and Keith Lee. The reason being is because they don't shuck and jive. They don't. I love that. You actually have one that's highly intelligent and he shows it. I like that. Keith Lee is just amazing for his size to fly like he does. It's like an Airbus landed at the airport ever so gently.
Yeah.
Keith Lee reminds me of a grown-up Calvin Tankman. I mean, I'm still cross my fingers and hope that match happens where they sign Calvin Tankman and Keith Lee go at it. Because if you see that, you're going to see flying horses.
As long as I keep my numbers up and I don't see that.
And yeah, you're right. Two black tag teams championship. Someone that truly cares about black wrestlers, not no phony Facebook page to try to get themselves over. It hit.
All that because
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciated that. I loved seeing that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it is a lot more to come as long as they don't destroy themselves.
When you break something, glass break.
I just want to say something real quick, Bobby.
Yeah.
Go
This
ahead.
is more for the crew. This is more for the crew than the audience. I love the fact that, like, when you set out the agenda, you didn't have moment of the week on the agenda, and we were all prepared for it. Though. So shout out to the crew.
Yeah.
Everybody had their moments ready.
Yes, we did.
You know that's part.
I figured y'all did because I said I'm going to do it every week.
Yeah, because
It
I
is
look
part of the
I look forward to it every week.
But okay, so you guys watching out there in the land, I got a couple of shout outs I got to give. Ashley Urban, what's up, girl? Baby girl, my grown up sis. She's crazy out there in Brownsburg, Indiana. She's one of the same ones from Brownsburg, Tony. So no, you ain't got to worry about her. She cool. But love you, sis. Also, for the fans of FTW, I want you guys to understand something. I have worked on something. It's not the best, but it's something that I'm trying to piece together. It's called the FTW Network. It's a website that we got on right now. Go to www.ftnetwork.net. I got a couple pages up. Check it out. I got a vote poll on there. Poll on there for the best tag team. I'll have some more in there. I got a little editorial that I've done. You will see the crew. You will see our bios. We also have. We're also going to start broadcasting. Well, we're broadcasting starting today. This show on the website. So the website is up. The website is kicking. We want all you guys to come check it out. The other pages is going to be added. One for independent wrestlers and independent wrestling shows. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff here with the website. We're working hard on it. I'm only one man, so keep it in for me. But if you guys go to an independent wrestling show or a wrestling show, period, you guys want to be seen. We want to see you fans at these shows. We want to see what you're doing. We want to see where you at. Email me at the Mastermind at ftwnetwork.net. Email me your pictures of where you're at, what shows you're at. Let us see you at these wrestling shows supporting professional wrestling, because that's one of the best things you can do is support the sport that we love. But
Bobby, just something real quick. I neglected to mention in our intro that Nature Girl Nicole was not able to join us tonight because of some family obligations. Shout out to her as well.
Shout out to Nicole.
Nicole,
Nicole.
we miss you.
We do. We miss Nicole.
I'm gonna tear up now. Hold on. Nicole gonna smack the crap out of me. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
What you say about me? All right, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna sign off, guys. Thank you for being on. Tony Motown Allen, Chris Woods, your not so humble correspondent Robert Black, Marvelous Marcus Buckley. I am the Mastermind Bob Rogers on this episode of FTW Future Focus with the FTW Championship.
I have the light up.
Saying we will definitely see you in the future.